Hi, I'm Carolina Moore with alwaysexpectmore.com and 30minutecrafts.com, and today we're working on block 7 of our Cricut Maker block of the week. If you're just getting started, make sure to check out the links below. I'll have links to get you all the way back to the beginning of our journey in making a quilt from start to finish using the Cricut Maker. If you need the link for today's file, it's also in the description below, so be sure to find it there. You can click on that link and you'll be able to find the cut files to make today's block. So let's get started. For our Shoo fly block, we're going to bring up the file in Design Space. Remember, if you're clicking on the link, you need to click on the link on a desktop or laptop computer, but some kind of solid computer device, not a mobile device. Click on the link there, save it to your Design Space from your desktop or laptop computer, and then you can open it up on your tablet, or you can just send it to your maker from your computer, and that's fine. But at this point, Cricut's not supporting being able to click the link on a mobile device. Hopefully that'll change soon, and this part of the video would be obsolete. For the Shoo fly block, we're using our yellow fabric and our teal fabric. Remember, our teal fabric is what we're using for our sashing fabric, and we've already cut those sashings. And if you have those fabrics labeled, then you've got the labels here. It might not necessarily be a yellow fabric or a teal fabric, but remember, we're marking them as yellow and teal so that when we pull things up in Design Space, we know exactly what colors we need to grab for which pieces. Go ahead and put your fabrics on your mats. Just float the fabric, line it up as best you can, and press it all down. And then we'll do the same. Now, for some people, the mats look kind of square. I can see that it's rectangular, but it can be a little bit tricky. Easy ways to make sure you're not accidentally putting your fabric on sideways are, if the hang tag, make sure the hang tag's at the top or bottom, or you can see the word Cricut is at the top and at the bottom, so in both spots right here and right here. So as long as you can read the word Cricut right side up, in the top left-hand corner, you're fine. See here, it wouldn't be in my top left-hand corner, but again, here it would be. So that's how you know. For your sashing, you have two different options for how to put your sashing fabric. You can either lay it this way with the selvage, and just like we've done before, you want to make sure that your selvage goes beyond that line before you put it on. But if you're going to do that and your sticker's here, you want to peel off that sticker. Or you can turn it around like this, and then we'll just have to make sure we move the pieces into place before we cut them, because the maker's automatically going to want to cut in this spot right here. So we'll go ahead and use it this way. And we're going to take everything over to the maker machine. We're starting off with our teal mat, and this is the one that we want to move. You can see it doesn't quite all fit, so we can actually rotate this one. And we'll move it over to the side, and that way we know it'll fit on our mat. Now we've got our mat here, and we've got 1, 2, 3 over. So I'm actually going to cut it out of, so it's 3.5. I'm moving it all the way to the top, and I'm making sure that it's 4 over, so it'll cut out of this piece right here, and I'll be all set. The Shoo Fly's layout looks like this. Now, if you've been following along the series, you already know what I'm about to show you. And that's that this is yet another 9 patch. That's right. These triangles, these triangles, these triangles, and these triangles will come together to make 4 half square triangle blocks. And then we've got 3 rows of 3, which is our classic 9 patch. Super simple to put together. We've done this a couple times now before, but a totally different look in a block because we have more half square triangles than we did with our hourglass block, and because the placement is completely different. So let's go ahead and stitch this one together real quick because we already know what we're doing. Remember, we can totally chain piece these triangles. All 4 of them just go right through. I'll just move these squares out of the way and press my triangles. We can press to the dark, which in my case is going to be towards the teal fabric, but for you it might be the other direction, and that's fine. We have these little dog ears, like you always do with half square triangles. So we're just going to go ahead and clip those away. I can lay the block out again. I want to make sure that my teal pieces are going towards the inside. So all 4 corners pointing in. And then my teal square will go in the center with the other 4 all the way around. So now I can stitch row 1, row 2, row 3, and the way I'll do that is by stitching these 2, and these 2 by chain piecing, laying them back in place and making sure that I know where everything's at, and then attaching the 3rd piece to each row, and then pressing my rows. We've pressed blocks like this that have half square triangles in them before. We did it with our Shoo Fly block. We know that on the back of these pieces, we want our bulk to lay flat over. So if you'll see, you've got all this extra bulk right here. We want it to lay flat over. We don't want it to fold back over onto itself because that gives us a lot of layers right there. So we're going to press these 2 in, which means this middle layer will get pressed out and this bottom layer will also get pressed in, which is perfect. That's exactly what we want. I'm going to go ahead and press all 3 rows. Perfect. I have all 3 rows pressed. We're 2 seams away from getting this block done. Just this seam and this seam. Put them right sides together and then feel with your fingers for where those 2 layers come together. And when I hold it up to the light like this, you can really see where those 2 layers, so if it's like this, you can see there's a big gap and you can actually feel that with your fingers. So as you put them together, you can feel with your fingers right where they lock, and that's nesting the seams. Now again, to reduce the bulk, I'm actually going to press these in on each side. And then give the whole block a good press on the front. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel so you get updates every time I post a new video, especially as we're going through this Block of the Week series. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them below. I do read each and every comment and I try to respond. Thanks guys, I'll see you next week.